here on October 31st, Halloween, at the Ochetti-Shoshone camp in North Dakota. I'm here with Carol. Carol was arrested on Thursday, and Carol's going to tell us about her experience. And it's a windy day, so it kind of goes with the territory here. So if you can bear with us, that'd be great. Hi, Carol.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Same here. So where were you on Thursday when you were arrested? Were you in the prayer circle?
I was in the prayer circle, yes ma'am.
So there was a prayer circle that was were actually the last people, I think, to get arrested, and the last people to remain on site. There were about 44, I think, or 45 of you.
We never did get a straight answer. We don't know for sure.
But you guys sat there and prayed the entire time as
Yes.
police and National Guard were pushing everyone out, but
Right.
somehow they let you guys sit until the end.
Pretty much the end. There was a sweat lodge that was still up when they took us away.
And they pulled people out of the lodge as well.
They
ceremony.
took two men out of the sweat lodge.
Mm.
And of course they sat on the bank after we were arrested, practically naked with nothing on hardly, because they were in the sweat lodge.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cold and windy by then.
Yeah. And what happened with you?
What happened with me? Well, we had been told that they were coming, and then we got the word that they were, so we formed a prayer circle, and we sat there and prayed for, I would say we were in the prayer circle about 2 hours before they finally decided to break us up. And they came on and they did a lot of other stuff and took other people, and then I think there were 8 of them were behind us with their batons trying to intimidate by smacking them on their fists, and we were all on the ground in protective gear because we did not know if we would be gassed. We didn't know if it was tear gas or pepper spray or whatever. So I mean, I had
goggles.
I had goggles and a scarf, and I was ready, And they did not. And at one point, they said to one of the elders that if we gave up peacefully, we would not have any other charges other than civil disobedience, I think is the one he said. So the elders said, it was okay that we would do that, and then they started to single out odd people, not in any particular order, just whoever they wanted first. And finally they were behind me, and there was a young man on both sides of me, and they were both being very protective of me so that I didn't get hit or something. But they did not do that. They did drag a couple people, I must admit, but I was not harmed.
They wrote numbers on your arms, right?
Yes, ma'am. Right here's my number. I'm the proud owner of 175.
There you go.
There it is. Yeah. And they got us over to a table and made us check our pockets. There was nothing in our pockets, and we put anything in our pockets in an evidence bag. And I had my medications taped to my stomach because I didn't know how long I'd be gone, and if they bulldozed up there, all my meds would be gone.
Right.
And I couldn't get them refilled. So I had some meds taped to my stomach. They took those.
They took your medication?
Yeah, they put them in a Ziploc bag, and they put the number on there too. So they took my meds, and eventually they took our picture, asked our name, our address, the whole 9 yards, and then they put us in all kinds of different vehicles and took us back to Morton County, I guess is what it is. And when we got there, it was kind of like, interesting culture shock, because they took us into the bottom of a garage, and you got out of the van, and you walked over, and there was a porta potty there, and they made you take everything off but one layer. So if you were in like a bra and a tank top or camisole, that's all you had on the top.
So you could just freeze.
Yes. So then they took us behind a tarp, a hanging tarp, where there were 2 wire fence cages. I call them just that camisole top sitting there that was cold. So they were starting to get really, really cold. We asked for blankets. We were pretty much ignored. And then finally they did take several of the ladies out after one of them had a panic attack. And she was laying on the floor. And first they made it seem like it was a joke. And then they did take care of her and got her out of there. Then they started to haul people out in big buses and move them other places. They left the rest of us in there. Gave us water. They gave us a lot of water. We did have that. And they did allow people that needed to go to the bathrooms to go out and go to the restroom under armed guard. Of course, 3 people for a lady to go to the bathroom. Anyway, then they went from there to a gentleman came along the side of the dog cage and he said that he was going to try to get us some warm accommodations. And then he said he would get us some food. So we got a hot dog and some chips, and of course we had the water. And it was about, I would say in my estimate, it was about between 10 and quarter till 2 in the morning when we got to go upstairs. The women were given not complete strip searches, but pretty much searches.
All the women.
Yes. And they did not let you keep any of your clothing. Okay, and I had open heart surgery, which meant that I had incisions straight down, and I was recommended by my physician to always wear a bra. And I had an argument with the aide, or with the officer, because she wanted my bra, and I said, I'll sit here on this steel bench all night. I will not give you my bra.
And you told her why, obviously.
I did.
And they didn't listen?
Well, she kind of argued with me for a while, and then she said, does it have wire in it? I said, no. She said, well, I'll get you a medical waiver. So she did let me keep one. But they did take them from the ladies. And we went in. They were allowed to take a shower if they wanted and go into an orange, like a jumpsuit, but it was 2-piece. And we were put to bed. They didn't have enough room for everybody to have a bunk, so a lot of the women were on mattresses on the floor. A lot of the women they were given us cotton slippers, and they didn't even have enough slippers to give everybody. A lot of the women never had slippers or cotton socks.
So they were walking on cold concrete?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All over the place.
Now, is it true that you got put in solitary?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. That's mind-boggling.
I went in to hear my charges, and there was a gallery up here where they had a bunch of us seated. And I looked over, and there was a young man, I call him my brother, that was sitting over there, and he gave me a thumbs up, and I gave him a thumbs up, meaning, everything's okay. We're hanging in here together.
Yeah. So
then I was taken over, and I sat there, and I was told the charges, and, the judge was saying that, there were 3 charges. That didn't mean that they would all apply to us, but there were 3 charges on us, which I was appalled by that because I had nothing to do with fire and all that. But anyway, and that was the felony charge. So then they said we could apply for assistance with getting our paperwork done so we could get out. So I filled out what they could fill out there, and then I was given blank papers to fill out. And as I went by the brother, I fist bumped him. And I know
it's like going like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Just do it again. Yeah.
Yeah. I fist bumped him, and when I got out the door, I was informed I was going to solitary.
Holy mackerel.
So I went back and I had to go get my mattress and take my mattress over to this section, and I was put in this solitary confinement section away from everybody else because I was a bad girl, I guess. So anyway, I was in there about 3 hours, I think. I was in there through the evening meal, and then I think he was like a warden, came over and he said to me, he was very nice, he said to me, ma'am, we're going to get you out of here. He said, you have no business in here. He said, we're going to get you back over.
Yeah.
We're going to get you back over with the other ladies. were there that night, and I had asked for a pencil or a pen to fill out the paperwork, and I kept getting told, we don't have time now, we don't have time now, we don't have time now. So it was late that night, finally, when I got into the last place that I had been moved to, and
Which was all in Morton County. You
yes,
stayed there.
yes, and they had, and everybody I knew, they moved out.
Yeah.
By now,
Yeah.
I'm with complete strange women that I did not know,
Right.
but I knew had come from here, most of them.
Right.
So I finally got a pen, the refill of a pen. We didn't get a pen, we got a refill. And I filled out the paperwork with this pen refill, and I tried to offer it to 2 different officers, or whatever they're called, jailers, wardens, whatever, and nobody would take it. And finally, a young lady that was in there said, give me that thing. And she put it in the door. And then when they came in, they checked us about every 2 hours to make sure we were all there. Where they thought we were going, I don't know. But
Wow.
he came in, and he had my paperwork in his hand. Okay? So that's pretty much it. Then I was there the whole next day until I don't even know what time it was I was released.
Do you mind my saying your age?
Oh yeah, I'm 3 months shy of 70.
Yeah. And have you been in jail before?
I stood straight up in Washington, D.C. in like 1966 maybe. We were protesting the Vietnam War, but they didn't have room to put us in cells. So that magistrate called a number to get you out into the hands of a responsible adult, which at that time was my husband, who was in the Navy.
So he was responsible.
Yeah.
And in your wildest dreams, did you ever think you could say, I was put in solitary?
Not that one. That's pretty much my
pretty
wildest
wild.
dreams.
Yeah.
That's,
Wow.
life has its experiences.
And basically, how do you feel about being here and about the whole movement, being a water protector?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
Well, put it this way. I've been trying to get here. I rode a bus 3 days to get here. I had to come.
Yeah.
It was in me.
Yeah.
I had to be here.
Yeah.
And I came with 2 hands, and the first thing I said to the first person I saw was, I don't know what I can do. I have 2 hands. I'm here to do whatever. And I expected to be here for 5 weeks. Unfortunately, it'll be a little longer. But
How long?
I have to be here till December the 5th.
Mhm.
That's when they made my hearing, or my trial, whatever.
Mm.
So at least that long, and if
Yeah.
they aren't banned from all these interviews, I could be in longer.
Well, if you think this should be shown, tell me.
Pardon?
If you think this should not be shown.
Oh no, no. No. I will do anything I need to keep this movement going, as long as it's legal and within prayerful reason.
Prayerful, yeah.
That's
because-
what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're not here to be violent.
Right.
We're not here to do radical things. We're here to stand strong. It's for the water. It's for all our ancestors that are over on those hills,
Yeah.
including mine that never made it over here because mine all died in Pennsylvania.
I'm sorry.
That's the way it is. We were the Lenapes, which I am part of. I'm also part Sioux. But the Lenape at one point in the eastern United States were 110,000 strong. We figure there are approximately 80 left. 80 of us that know we have that in our blood. So we talk about genocide.
Tired of this genocide, and now it's the genocide of Mother Earth that keeps happening.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is the genocide of us all.
Yes, and I am not ashamed of what I've done. I would do it again in a heartbeat.